Doc, pardon me. Just saying, can you go direct to the point for the medicine that cure kidney failure? Okay guys, I listened to your complaints, and what you want is the quickest, most effective cure for all your problems. Nothing easier. So in this video, we will see what really works to lower your creatinine fast and in the shortest and most concise form possible. These are the 9 things every single CKD patient should be doing. Starting with number 9, understanding the problem. They say that solving a problem without understanding it is like trying to find a needle in a haystack while blindfolded and riding a unicycle. So what the heck is creatinine and why do we care? Creatinine is a waste product that comes from the normal wear and tear on muscles and from protein metabolism. It is filtered by the kidneys. So the more creatinine you have in your blood, the less the kidneys are filtering, right? The term we use for kidney filtration is GFR. The higher the creatinine, the lower the kidney function, or GFR. It's important to memorize your GFR because it tells you in what stage of CKD you are in. So creatinine is a waste product and an indicator of kidney filtrating ability, alright?
What?
You want even more concise? Having too high creatinine is your kidney's way of saying,
I'm tired, boss.
Okay, how do we lower it then? There are 2 ways we can improve our kidney filtering ability. First, by reducing the scores our body creates. How? By eating less junk food and protein and by avoiding dangerous medications. You know, stuff as end-stage proton pump inhibitors, unnecessary antibiotics, contrast dyes, and the like. Second, by directly improving, well, the ability of the kidneys of removing scores. But how do we do that, you may ask? Number 8, take NAC and CoQ10. Now guys, kidney disease is an umbrella term, which means that it is not a single disease. It's a way to put together many different ones. But most of these diseases that affect the kidneys have just one thing in common. They all damage the kidney through the same pathway, a process called oxidative stress. Diabetes, high blood pressure, even taking certain medications, they all put you in a situation in which there are too many free radicals and too little antioxidants in the body. And that's how you go from my kidneys are fine to hello dialysis, my old friend. And since spending hours on a dialysis chair sounds fun, said no one ever, let's talk about avoiding that nightmare scenario. What if you start adding antioxidants, you might wonder? Well, if you could actually stop the main pathway through which diseases wreak havoc on your kidneys, things will be a lot better, says science. And yes, improvement in creatinine levels have been observed when antioxidant therapies were prescribed. So if you want a fast solution, let's start with that. There are a few antioxidants I always recommend, and my advice here is to take as many of them as possible and in a low dose. First of all, vitamin C. Yes, this vitamin is not just a detoxifier, it's also an antioxidant. Next up, vitamin E, preferably from foods like sunflower seeds, because who doesn't love a good seed snack? Another antioxidant powerhouse snack is the Brazil nut, a fantastic source of selenium. Then also consider supplements for resveratrol and even better, CoQ10. This last one is one of the most powerful antioxidants you can find. Maybe the only one that's even more powerful is N-acetylcysteine or NAC. And as I was saying, you don't have to choose. Get as many of them as possible, but in low to very low doses. Yes, foods rich in antioxidants are the real MVPs here. But what foods are best when it comes to antioxidants? Well, I've just made a video to answer exactly that question. It's up here and also down in description. And do you know what else helps lowering your creatinine? Number 7, avoiding vitamin deficiencies. Okay, if I could have $1 for every time a CKD patient has an undiagnosed vitamin deficiency, I would have enough money to open a dialysis clinic. And enough patients to keep it running, of course. Seriously, the number of CKD patients that have vitamin B levels so low they could barely get up from their couch is shocking. So, if you want to see an improvement right now, get checked for vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Or even better, get a professional that knows what they are doing to read your lab tests. Trust me when I say that I don't need you to get checked for vitamin B12 deficiency to know if you have it. In fact, some of the most common deficiencies CKD patients suffer from are B vitamins, usually associated with anemia. Then there is magnesium deficiency, a sneaky cause of high blood pressure. Zinc deficiency, yep, that one can single-handedly cause kidney damage and induce hypertension. And let's not forget calcium deficiency, common in patients with mineral and bone disorders. And of course, the infamous vitamin D deficiency. Luckily, some doctors are starting to prescribe treatment for vitamin D deficiency, but the vast majority of patients are still left out in the cold. I know it's a lot to take in, but I'll be making a new video about this topic very soon. So stay tuned, subscribe, and set that notification bell to all. Up next, number 6. Okay, if vitamins are effective, what can be even better, you may ask? Well, number 6 is reach your ideal body weight, or as close as possible. Okay, I get it. No one wants yet another lecture about dieting and weight loss, so I'll cut to the chase. Obesity is only second to smoking as the most preventable cause of deaths and disease. I won't say another word about that, so think about it. Okay, our number 5 now. So, with the goal in mind of reducing your creatinine fast, what can be even more effective than avoiding the second most preventable cause of disease? Number 5 is exercising. But how come exercising is higher than dieting in this chart, you may ask? Well, the reason is diabetes. Let me explain. If you ask 10 people what causes diabetes, 9 out of 10 will answer with an emphatic sugar. And that's completely false. It's a myth bigger than the Loch Ness Monster that sugar causes diabetes. Now, the 10th person would probably say being overweight. And I'd say close, but no cigar. And hey, no smoking either. But if sugar doesn't cause diabetes and being overweight doesn't really cause it as well, what is the true culprit? Type 2 diabetes is caused by visceral fat, the fat that accumulates around your organs, alright? And while it's true that the amount of visceral fat you have is correlated to the amount of total body fat, they're not the same. You don't believe me? Well, have you ever noticed that some type 2 diabetes patients look skinny? Well, looking skinny on the outside doesn't mean you're not hiding a fatty secret inside. It's like calling a donut healthy just because it has a hole in the middle. Commonly called dad bod or mom bod, skinny fat refers to someone with a normal BMI and weight but low muscle mass. Skinny fat people tend to have more of a type of fat called visceral fat. Visceral fat grows around your organs instead of under your skin, so it isn't visible. But how do you get rid of visceral fat without turning into a featherweight, malnourished skeleton? Well, you exercise both aerobic activities such as brisk walking and strength training, aka lifting weights at the gym, can torch visceral fat way more effectively than diet alone. Exercising can also help build and maintain some muscle, an extremely effective way of fighting Diabetes. Yeah, you need muscle to fight diabetes. Who could have guessed? Not to mention that exercising lowers your blood pressure more effectively than any medication known to man. So let's get moving, because no one ever regrets a good sweat session, except maybe the dialysis industry. And don't forget to drink at least 8 glasses of water per day while you're at it. Up next, number 4 is going to be extremely effective for people in the advanced stages. It's the use of detoxifiers. For example, take sodium bicarbonate. There are 2 kinds of kidney patients in the world: those with metabolic acidosis and those who are taking sodium bicarbonate. Okay, just kidding, but seriously, metabolic acidosis is as common in stage 4 and 5 CKD as bad karaoke at a dive bar. In fact, most dialysis patients receive sodium bicarbonate in the dialysate. But you can also use it to, avoid ending up in dialysis, because too much acid in the blood is as disastrous for your kidneys as letting a bunch of toddlers loose in a china shop. We could all be eating burgers all day if it wasn't for acid red meat put in our bodies. And the phosphorus, and the protein, and sodium, and the saturated fats, and the calories. Okay, maybe no hamburgers if you care about your health. In fact, for some patients, just putting down the burger is enough to avoid metabolic acidosis, at least in stage 3. In stage 4 and 5 pre-dialysis, you usually need both a low-protein diet and sodium bicarbonate. And guys, metabolic acidosis is a fairly big topic that I won't be able to discuss in depth enough today without turning this video into a lecture. And we all know how much the YouTube comment section loves a good lecture. But don't worry, I recently made a video just about the diet and supplementation you need to solve this issue. It's up here and also down in description. Another common detoxifier is calcium carbonate. You only need this one if your serum phosphorus levels are too high. Phosphorus is one of the most dangerous toxins for CKD patients, and it's more of an issue for those still eating meat and processed foods. Number 3, go plant-based. Okay guys, as we have seen, many of the issues that prevent CKD patients from improving are caused by toxins and scores we get from eating animal-based foods. So no pressure at all from me, but you should consider, giving up animal-based foods and start eating more fruits and vegetables. Why, you may ask? Because according to the scientific literature, just by following a renal diet with no animal-based foods and plenty of fruit and vegetables, CKD patients are able to either stop or even reverse the decline of their kidney function. Again, no pressure at all from me, but unless you really love the idea of spending 4 to 5 hours 3 times a week on a dialysis chair, well, consider starting a low-protein diet now. Number 2, stop what's causing it. Okay guys, I want to be very clear on this. If you want to stop kidney disease, you need to stop what's causing it. Nothing works otherwise. Yeah, easier said than done, I know, because for some patients, the cause is clear. Close to 1 out of 2 CKD sufferers has diabetes, and that can damage the kidneys pretty fast. An even bigger number of patients has high blood pressure, and of course, that needs to be stopped as well. By the way, I don't care how many medications you need. Your blood pressure must be below 130/80. Yeah, high blood pressure does more damage than the medications. But guys, as we can see, not all patients suffer from CKD due to diabetes or high blood pressure. Many patients are in the group others when it comes to the cause of the disease, and a subgroup of those don't even have a diagnosis. Well, make sure you are not going on without a diagnosis, alright? You need to know what's causing your kidney problems and to stop the cause if your goal is getting better. Okay guys, before I show you the number 1 for today, consider giving this video a like if it cured you of all your illnesses, and if it didn't, consider leaving an angry comment. But not before watching the final part because it's complicated. Number 1 is Don't let complications go untreated. Anemia, thyroid issues, mineral and bone disorder, hyperphosphatemia, metabolic acidosis. Having any of this means that there is something else going on in your body that's damaging you and your kidneys. But guys, most of these complications can be treated. As we have seen, you could follow a plant-based diet and take sodium bicarbonate for metabolic acidosis. And there are phosphate binders for hyperphosphatemia. Mineral and bone disorder is treated by also taking certain vitamin supplements. Now, anemia and thyroid problems are something you will need specific prescriptions for, but here's the kicker. Most primary care providers won't give you a prescription for them. Why, you may ask? Because as you can read from this article published on a medical periodic, when PCPs see anemia, they know it's caused by CKD and they decide not to treat it nor to test you for it, which is like saying that they don't give a f. You have to be your own advocate. You have to ask for test and for treatment yourself. Yeah, this is how it works nowadays. So keep following me here, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will be informed and you won't become another victim of the system. And if you want to know more about the treatment for kidney disease, my video up here is for you, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.